The world's richest man now investing $1.5 billion.
Bitcoin is going to flip gold, and it's going to subsume the entire gold market cap.
Bitcoin is the apex predator of financial markets.
Something is about to happen to the Bitcoin price.
Digital money is the future.
Bitcoin.
I love Bitcoin.
Smash a like button!
Well, it's official. I'm a crypto channel now. Of course, I'm joking, but I have become incredibly fascinated by, captivated by, and invested in cryptocurrency over the last few months. In this video, I want to tell you a little bit about how I got invested, a little bit about what I understand about cryptocurrency and blockchain, and hopefully help you understand it a little bit more too. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Matt. I am a filmmaker and entrepreneur based in Colorado. For those of you who are returning subscribers, thank you so much. I am so grateful for every single one of you. And a couple of things before we get started. I am not obviously a financial advisor. I can't tell you how I think you should spend your money, and this whole video is simply for entertainment purposes only, so keep that in mind. Also, whenever crypto is mentioned on YouTube, it kind of brings out the bots and the scammers out of the woodwork. So bear in mind that I will never, and no one who is legitimate in the crypto space will ever ask you for your financial information, and none of us will ever give you our WhatsApp number. I don't even have a WhatsApp. But what I might do every now and then is ask you to I almost said smash the like button. I have been watching so much YouTube lately, it's just seeped into my pores. Oh my. But I will occasionally ask you to like this video and subscribe to the channel if and only if you find this information valuable to you and helpful to you in your own journey. But with that, cryptocurrency, it is without a doubt the future. You heard it here first, folks. Obviously, that's not true either. In fact, I feel like I'm a little bit behind the game on this one. I sort of got involved and interested in all of this in about January, so I'm a little behind the curve, but don't worry, it's still early. In my opinion, this is Internet 1995, this is Facebook 2005. It's all happening, and it is the future. In order to understand cryptocurrency, you first have to understand blockchain. What is blockchain technology? The best way that I can describe it, and the way that it sort of made sense to me in my mind, is to think of it as an analog digital internet. Digital in the sense that everything can still be randomly accessed. You can still get information by searching for it and pulling it from different areas. Analog in the sense that it cannot be overridden or destroyed. Think of it this way. If you buy something with your Visa or MasterCard at the store and you plug it into the chip reader, that information is sent to a third party. That third party processes the information, confirms the transaction between the bank and between the store and your card, and essentially that creates the transaction. Now that transaction lives in the internet and it can be found, of course, but that information is not necessarily the most secure. On blockchain technology, let's say that I wanted to send you some Bitcoin. That transaction would go out onto the Bitcoin blockchain. A node would be where this transaction is processed. The transaction would be processed, would be confirmed. That node would essentially take a portion of the transaction as their transaction fee, and the Bitcoin would then be transferred to you. Now that transaction is turned into a block, hence the blockchain. And these transaction blocks are individual pieces that are essentially set back to back, end to end on the digital world. So they have a unique signature, a unique address, and this signature can never be overridden, counterfeit, or destroyed. So take it back to the MasterCard example. If every time you purchase something and you look at your bank statement and you see each one of those individual transactions lined up on a spreadsheet or on your statement, imagine that those exist on the internet as individual blocks that will live there for eternity. Blockchain essentially, with this kind of technology, ensures the security and the provability of transactions pretty much in perpetuity. So that takes us to cryptocurrency. Now, the word itself is misleading. The crypto portion tends to make people think of something illegal or nefarious, but in fact, it's based in the word cryptographic, meaning secure. So cryptocurrency by definition is intended to be an exchange of currency between two users that's completely secured, that cannot be counterfeit, destroyed, or stolen. Now, the biggest thing that I hear from most skeptical people is that, well, cryptocurrency doesn't have anything behind it. And to a certain extent, that's true. There's really nothing behind the US dollar or most currency in the world. It's simply an agreed upon means of exchange of energy between two people. Each type of cryptocurrency or coin has its own type of value on the blockchain on which it runs. Now, there are a bunch of different blockchains, Bitcoin, Ethereum, different types where these coins exist and can be used and exchanged. In one way, you can think of it as gift cards. Think of it as something on, say, Amazon, or a place where you would take something and perhaps you bought an item, and the only way that you could exchange it or return it is to get a gift card in that store value. That's essentially what this is each blockchain has its own store value, and those coins are things that you can buy with your government issued currency. And then you can spend that cryptocurrency on those unique and secure networks. In a way, I don't see it any different than if you go to Europe, you need to change your US dollars into euro. If you go to Australia, anywhere you go, you have to exchange it into the kind of money that's being used in those countries. It's the same thing with blockchain. You're exchanging your money to be used on those blockchains using the coins that those blockchains issue. But of course, why would you want to spend money on blockchain at the moment? Well, there's a lot going on that suggests that using blockchain technology to make financial transactions will be the way that we do it in the future. In the future, that sounds ridiculous. It feels like the year 2000 bid on Conan. But anyway, look at NFTs, these non-fungible tokens, this digital art that's being sold for record amounts of money. Most of these things have to be paid for with cryptocurrencies so that those transactions are secure, because the art can be purchased and pulled from the blockchain upon which it lives. So it's no different, in my opinion, than any type of currency all over the world. There will be ones that are more valuable that could become store of value. There will be some that become less value that are just intended for spending. It's going to evolve, it's going to change, but we are in the babiest of baby stages, and it's really a great time to get involved and to get educated. So with that, here are the 5 things that I did in order to get involved in cryptocurrency. Number 1, I did my research. I spent hours and hours and days learning about blockchain, about cryptocurrency, and about all of the technology that's being used in and around blockchain. And so within that, I learned about the different blockchains. What's the difference between the Bitcoin or Ethereum blockchain? What purposes do they serve? And also, what are the applications and the different uses of the individual blockchains? This gave me a great idea on what kind of coins I would want to invest in, depending upon what their uses of the different blockchains are. And so I got to know the different coins. What's the difference between Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and all the others? There's a lot, by the way, and it could take you a long time to research, but it's well worth it. And at that point, I decided on 3 coins. It made me happy to just choose 3. I didn't want to get all spread out. It's kind of like my stock portfolio. I don't want to get all crazy spread out. I do my research. I learn about specific ones that really appeal to me, and that's what I did. So I settled on Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Bitcoin and Litecoin being the sort of gold and silver of all of the tokens. These 2 seemed like the best store of value, and they would hopefully accrue in value over time. And Ethereum I chose because the Ethereum network is phenomenal. What's going on the Ethereum blockchain is just spectacular. It's revolutionizing everything. If you've done any looking into NFTs recently, you're gonna see that Ethereum is really special. And then it became time to choose a platform. Where am I going to start buying and trading my cryptocurrency? There are a ton right now. And again, do the research. It can be a bit overwhelming, but it all kind of depends upon how deep do you want to go? What's your level of understanding of trading? If you're a high level stock trader, you're going to be able to jump into some of the more complicated ones pretty quickly. For me, as somebody who's relatively new to the whole process, I went with Coinbase. For US users, Coinbase by far has the best app, the best layout. It just looks the best. The interface is phenomenal, and it's the easiest to use by far. There are a few others that I dabbled in just to get used to the whole idea. There's Gemini by the famous Winklevoss twins, which is also great. I didn't like the layout quite as well as Coinbase. There's Binance, which is a little bit more advanced, but I really like it and I plan on using it more in the future. You can buy stock in companies that own Bitcoin on Robinhood, but you don't own the coin itself and you can't transfer it anywhere. So keep that in mind. There's also BlockFi. Now BlockFi is a little bit different. It is a trading platform, only focuses on a few different coins, but it does offer you a high interest rate to keep your coins on their site. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. How I started putting my money into crypto is a tried and true method used for a long time, and that's dollar cost averaging. I set an amount, I gave myself 6 weeks, and I split that amount up over 6 weeks, and I invested it each week on the same day for 6 weeks. So that way the market can go up or down, but since you're doing it over a period of time, you're getting a nice average for the amount of money that you're putting into it. Take Ethereum, for example. My first buy-in was at around $1,200. By the time I had put in the final amount, it was over $2,000. So my dollar cost average was about $1,700. Now, would I have loved to have just put the whole amount in at $1,200 because I would have more Ethereum and it would be worth more today? Yes, absolutely. But I would say rule number one is you can't go back in time. So at the time of this video, Ethereum's right around $1,800. So I'm still profitable in my buy-in, but that's the whole idea. This is long-term. So that leads me to the last point, HODL. I love this term. Now, this is from an old message board post back when Bitcoin was around $700 a coin or so. And just to give you an idea, it's around $50,000 a coin right now. But someone had gotten a little bit drunk and was wanting to express the fact that he was going to HODL. Obviously, he misspelled hold, but the post is golden. I'll put a link down below on where you can find that. It's wonderful to read, but it gives you a really great sense of the fact that, you know, when you're investing in things, there's buyer's remorse, there's buyer's regret, there's all those things, and it doesn't matter if what you're investing in is worth $50,000 or $500. So with that, I plan on HODLing. I'm just gonna hold. This is long-term for me. I am, of course, watching the market like a hawk most days, but I'm making sure that, you know, I don't lose a lot of money, but at the same time, I believe strongly in blockchain. I really think that this is without a doubt the future, and the money that I have in the market at the moment is going to be there for a very long time. So I shot that portion a couple of days ago. A lot has happened in the last couple of days. Today, the Ethereum price is right around $1,900, and the Bitcoin price has hit an all-time high of over $61,000. Beeple, a famous digital artist, just sold one of his paintings for something like $63 million. So the cryptocurrency NFT world is on fire in a good way. I have, in the last couple of days, invested more money into cryptocurrency. I started using Binance to purchase smaller tokens like ADA, called Cardano, and another one called Harmony token. These are low cap tokens that I think have tremendous upside. So I've put some money into that. I started using the app Voyager as well, which is a publicly traded company. It's very similar to Coinbase, although Coinbase is not publicly traded at this time. And I have taken all of my Bitcoin and Litecoin and moved that into Ethereum. I did that a few weeks ago, but it's one of the things that I decided to do because I feel like the upside to Ethereum and the Ethereum network itself is phenomenal, and it's going to be one of the main ways that we transact in the future, and I wanted to have as much Ethereum as possible. Not to mention the NFT space is heating up, and I plan on creating NFTs as a part of my own business, and I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of Ethereum to spend on the Ethereum blockchain as I build this NFT side of the business. More of that to come. Obviously, you'll get plenty of updates on the NFTs. Additionally, all of my Ethereum is in BlockFi. BlockFi offers around 6.5% interest rate on the Ethereum that you have. They offer interest rate on a handful of different tokens. The idea is that you are staking your coins. And what that means is you're essentially letting your coins be borrowed out, lended out to people via loans at fairly high interest rates. Now, these interest rates are kicked back to you in the form of APR, so you can make a little bit of money on your Bitcoin, on your Litecoin, Ethereum, and a couple other coins. In the meantime, if you don't plan on selling, it's a great way to make some extra cash with your Bitcoin, or Ethereum in my case. With that, I really hope that this video was helpful in one way or another, and I would really love to know what you think of cryptocurrency, and I would love to know if you personally hold any cryptocurrency at this time. And of course, please do ask any questions that you may have in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I intend on now releasing at least one video a week every Monday. So I think I will say see you next Monday.